Now they're on BBC Two. Maybe a joke or two might crack them.
These 5 people are amongst the greatest quiz players in Britain. Together, they make up the Eggheads, arguably the most formidable quiz team in the country. The question is, can they be beaten? Welcome to Eggheads, the show where a team of 5 quiz challengers pit their wits against possibly the greatest quiz team in Britain. You might recognise them as they are Goliaths in the world of TV quiz shows. They are the Eggheads. And taking on the awesome might of our quiz Goliaths today are the Midland Mirth Makers. The team all know one another through working together as stand-up comedians and entertainers on the UK comedy circuit. Let's meet them.
Hi, I'm David, I'm 59, I'm a comedy entertainer.
Hi, I'm Andy, 39, and I'm a comedian.
Hi, I'm Rod, 57, and I'm a comedian.
Hello, I'm Bruce, I'm 59, I'm a comedy entertainer and musician.
Hi everybody, I'm JP, I'm 52, and I'm also a comedy entertainer.
David, great to have some talent in the studio.
Goliath, David.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? You know what happened in that competition?
I very much do, so let's hope history repeats itself.
And Bruce, you actually won New Faces in 1975.
I did. 30, a few years back.
Yeah. One of those shows they always say was the forerunner of all the reality stuff that we have now.
I think so, yeah, except your researcher on this programme hadn't heard of it. So.
Too young.
They're all 17, it's shocking. Good luck, guys. We're rooting for you. Every day there is £1,000 worth of cash up for grabs for our challengers. However, if they fail to defeat the Eggheads, the prize money rolls over to the next show. So, Midland Mirth Makers, the Eggheads have won the last 3 games, which means £4,000. Says you can't beat the Eggheads. Are you ready?
We're ready to go.
OK, first head-to-head battle will be on the subject of film and television. How about that? Up your street?
What about Andy?
Shall I take that one?
Andy, you can take that one.
I'll take that one.
Good man.
Okay,
Yeah,
good man.
so
Bite the bullet, get it
Andy,
done with.
and you now need to pick an egghead on film and television to go up against.
You're all so good, isn't it? Who should I take?
We had a list and I've left it.
Left in the dressing
may
room.
help,
We've
you
gone
never
now,
know.
shot memories, film and TV.
Which one should I do?
This is the easiest question of the night.
Kevin?
I'm going to have a chat. I'm going to do it Kevin. Kevin, I will take Kevin.
Wow.
Why not?
Right.
It'll be Kevin.
So, Andy from the Midland Mirth Makers versus Kevin from the Eggheads. And to ensure there's no conferring, please take your positions in the question room. So, Andy, good luck.
Thank you.
I know you're used to the spotlight. Film and television is the subject. And, Andy, you can choose the first or second set of questions.
I'll go first, Jeremy.
Andy, who directed the movies Armageddon, The Rock and Transformers? Was it Michael Bay, Steven Spielberg or Martin Scorsese?
Now, I believe it was Michael Bay who directed those 3 films.
Oh, no hesitation at all on that. You're right.
Excellent.
Great play by our comedians. Fantastic.
You'll be shocked to learn I've actually seen all 3 of those films.
I don't believe you, CJ. On with the question for Kevin. Who played the role of the rock singer Aldous Snow in the 2008 film comedy Forgetting Sarah Marshall? Alex Zane, Paul Kay or Russell Brand?
I haven't seen it, but I believe the pop star character in that is played by Russell Brand. I'm not certain, but I think it's Russell Brand.
You're right. Never heard of Russell Brand. What does he do now? 1-1. Andy, the first series of which American TV show centred around the suicide of Mary Alice Young? Brothers and Sisters, Desperate Housewives or 6 Feet Under?
Well, I do know that a certain series started with a suicide of a woman, and she continues in the show as the narrator, an offstage narrator, and that show was Desperate Housewives.
Lovely job, Andy, you're right. Kevin, who played the role of Carey Mahoney in the first 4 Police Academy films? Steve Guttenberg, Ted Danson or Paul Reiser?
Well, the only one of those that I know was in the Police Academy films was, I think I only ever saw the first one, was Steve Guttenberg, so I'll have to hope his character was called Carey Mahoney.
That's your answer?
Yeah.
It's right, 2-2. Tight round. Two great players here. Andy, back to you. Which former newspaper editor was the only celebrity fired from a special charity edition of The Apprentice in 2007, but went on to win an American version of the show a year later? Kelvin Mackenzie, Piers Morgan, or Rosie Boycott?
Right. No, now Rosie Boycott, I've seen her about. I don't imagine it's her sort of thing, doing The Apprentice. I don't remember that. I'm going to go with Kelvin Mackenzie. It may be wrong, but that's what I'm going to do.
Sorry, Andy, it is wrong. It was Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan, bad luck. Kevin, for the round, which English musician starred in the 1979 film Quadrophenia? Was it Sting, Mick Jagger, or Elton John?
Yeah, I think he played a hotel, what the Americans would call a bellhop, but who actually moonlighted as the sort of style icon and leader of a gang of mods. It was Sting.
It was Sting, Kevin. Well done. Tight round and well played by our challenger, but sorry, Andy, you won't be joining us in the final round. Please, both of you, come back and rejoin your teams. So as it stands, the challengers have lost one brain from the final round. Bad luck, Andy. Eggheads have not lost any brains, so they're in the lead. Next subject is science. Which challenger wants science and against which egghead?
Science.
Any good
It's a
on that?
pretty broad one.
It is, You're all looking at me.
Science.
You're all looking at me, aren't you?
Yeah, you're on the end.
That's why we're looking at you.
Choosing
Fancy
between
it?
comedians is never easy.
Jeremy, I think it's lamb to the slaughter. It's me. And I'd like to play against Judith.
All right.
Wow.
JP from the Midland Mirth Makers versus our Judith from the Eggheads. To ensure there's no conferring, please take your positions. So 3 multiple choice questions on science. And JP, you can choose whether you go first or second.
Well, I know usually it's ladies first, but in this case, I think I'll go first.
OK, JP, here we go. When discussing how the range of the tides is affected by the relative positions of the sun and moon, which word has the opposite meaning to neap? Winter, spring, or summer?
This is the most awful thing you've ever can imagine, isn't it? The first question, I haven't got the faintest idea. I'll go for spring.
Somehow your team have managed to actually send thoughts in your direction because you've got it right. And it was a difficult question, but most of you here seem to know the answer to that.
Yes.
Yeah,
we also know Darren Brown. We've been on intensive training for a few weeks, so it's working.
It worked.
Yes.
Well done, 1 point to you. Judith, in which part of the human body is the gluteus maximus muscle located? Is it neck, chest, or buttock?
I think it's neck. I think it's buttock. I hope.
Buttock is the correct answer.
Yeah.
Question 2, JP. By what name is the light-sensitive layer which lines much of the inside of the eyeball known? Is it retina, iris, or cornea?
Inside, I think. The cornea, I think, is on the outside. I'll go for retina.
2 points, well done. Retina is right.
It's channeling. It's
Yeah, channeling through. It's working. Now, don't channel to Judith by accident. Judith, which bird is sometimes referred to as the Undertaker bird because of its carrion diet and dark upper plumage? Is it the bald eagle, condor, or marabou stork?
Well, I'm just trying to think. Which of them might be a vulture? And I don't think a marabou stork is. I think it's condor.
Condor is your answer.
Yeah.
You've fallen behind because it's wrong.
Oh, no.
It's marabou stork,
Oh,
Judith.
no. I can't bear it. I know what they look like, too. They're in Morocco.
All right. So if you get this right, JP, you have taken the round. What is the most abundant mineral in the human body? Calcium, sodium, or potassium?
I know there's quite a lot of sodium. I think it's sodium. I'll go for sodium. Sodium.
The problem here was that your team didn't know. They couldn't channel anything. It's not sodium, JP. Sorry, it's calcium. So, Judith, you have a chance to draw level, but if you get this wrong, you've gone. Which deadly virus named after a city in Germany was first discovered in 1967? Baden-Baden, Heidelberg, or Marburg?
The one that's standing out is Marburg.
The Marburg virus, what does that do?
I don't know. Dead kills you.
Kills you?
Well, it's
What,
deadly.
slowly?
Deadly.
Slowly or quickly?
I don't know.
It's right anyway, well done. 2 points apiece. So after those 3 questions, the scores are level. We will go now to sudden death, and to make it that bit harder, these questions are not multiple choice. Here we go, JP.
Oh, dear.
Which British-born physicist who co-invented the transistor with John Bardeen and Walter Brattain won the 1956 Nobel Prize in Physics?
No, I have to say, I'm sorry, I can't. I have to pass.
Anyone know on your team?
We're just channeling static. At
Okay. The answer is William Shockley.
Of course.
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah, old shockers.
Shockers. Judith, which Italian-born American physicist, born in 1901, discovered neutron-induced radioactivity and directed the first controlled chain reaction involving nuclear fission?
Is it Fermi? Fermi?
I do need a first name and a last name, Judith.
Enrico?
What's the first name and the last name? Just give them to me.
Enrico Fermi.
You are right. Well done, Judith.
I don't believe it.
Well done, Judith. That's a tough question as well. Well done. JP, you were beaten by our Egghead. Commiserations. So we won't be seeing you in the final round. Would you both please come back and rejoin your teams? So as it stands, the challengers have lost 2 brains from the final round. The Eggheads haven't lost any brains. Our next subject is geography. Geography, which challenger on this and which Egghead?
Well, we travel all over the UK and abroad, and we kind of pick up knowledge of geography, so it's the luck of the draw on the...
Shall I have a go?
Have a go with it, yeah. He's been around, this guy.
Bruce, you've been everywhere.
Bruce has been
You've
around
the longest of all of us.
Wait for the video to come out. Who are we going to go
Shall we
against?
have?
Geography, they're all so good.
CJ, isn't it? CJ, please.
CJ, please.
Right, so it's Bruce from the Midland Mirthmakers versus CJ from the Eggheads. And please now take your positions in the question room. So I'll ask each of you 3 questions on geography in turn, multiple choice, and Bruce, you can choose the first or the second set.
I'll stick with the rest of the guys and go first.
So Bruce, your first question, in terms of surface area, which is the smallest mainland state in Australia? Victoria, Queensland, or Western Australia?
I've got to be honest and say I don't know, and I'm not picking up any vibes from the other guys in the team. I'm going to have a wild stab at Victoria.
You ever been there on your travels?
Nope.
But you're right. Well done.
Wow, thanks.
CJ, Taunton is the administrative centre of which English county? Gloucestershire, North Yorkshire, or Somerset?
Gosh, if only I knew somebody who lived in Somerset. If only she was bashing me every single day about telling me about her boring little county. I think it might be Somerset, Jeremy.
For that, you should get it wrong, but it's actually right. Daphne, do you want to grit your teeth and confirm that it's right?
It's right. I'll get him after the show.
You can get
I
him
always
afterwards.
do.
Second question now, Bruce. The ski resort of Cloisters is located in which country? Austria, Switzerland, or Italy?
Could you spell it, please?
Yeah, it's Kloosters. Cloisters.
I don't know what difference that made, actually. Just gave me some thinking time. I don't think it's Italy. It doesn't sound Italian. I've got no idea. Switzerland.
You are such a good guesser, you're right. Oh. Well done. In India, CJ, what is the Lu? Wind, volcano, or Oxbow Lake?
Can you spell it, please?
L-O-O.
Thanks. I'm not aware of any volcanoes in India. And the loo sounds a little too specific for something like an oxbow lake. So I'll have to go for a wind.
It is the wind, or a wind. You're right, the loo wind. Back to you, Bruce. Keep the pressure on him with this one. The Niagara Falls waterfalls lie on the border of New York State and which Canadian province? Manitoba, Ontario, or Quebec?
Quebec's Eastern Canada? I'm looking for an answer, but you're not going to tell me, are you?
I wish I could.
Manitoba, I'm not sure. Oh. I think it's Ontario.
Team, is he right?
He's right.
He's right. 3 out of 3.
Oh, he's right.
Well done, Bruce.
Okay. CJ, you're playing the guy who won New Faces in 1975 and is winning again here. The rufiyaa is the official currency of which island group in the Indian Ocean? Comoros, Seychelles, or Maldives?
I've never heard of it. I don't know, so apologies to the team except for Daphne. So now I will go for the one I know nothing about, the Comoros.
The Comoros.
I want an apology.
Daphne wants an apology and you're out. It's not looking good, CJ. It's the Maldives. You're wrong on Comoros. Well done, Bruce. You took on one of our eggheads and you emerged triumphant. Good news for the challengers here, because it means you'll be able to play Bruce in today's final round. Congratulations. Please, both of you, come back and join your teammates. So as it stands, the challengers have lost 2 brains from the final round. The eggheads have lost 1 brain. Our last subject is sport. Feeling good about that, challengers?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I'll take sport.
would you believe this young athletic-looking man here is well into sport? He does a lot of sporting dinners and after-dinner speeches.
Okay.
And so I think we're going to have...
I'll take that. Yep.
Rod's the man.
Don't go yet. Tell us who you want to play.
Who are you going to go for? Who should we go for?
Daphne or Chris?
Chris, isn't it?
Chris. Yes, I think I'll take
Go for Chris.
Yeah.
So it's Rod from the Midland Mirthmakers versus Chris from the Eggheads, and to ensure there's no conferring, please take your positions in the question room now. So I'll ask each of you 3 questions on sport in turn. Rod, you can choose the first or the second set of questions.
I'll go with the team. I'll go first.
Good luck to you both. Rod, which Spanish driver became the youngest ever Formula One world champion in 2005? Felipe Massa, Fernando Alonso, or Pedro de la Rosa?
Motorsport isn't my big draw, but I don't think it's Pedro de la Rosa, although he's got a Spanish-sounding name. I think he had problems with one of his team men. I think it was Fernando Alonso.
They're very pleased with you here. Well done.
Yeah.
1 point to you.
Checkered flag for you.
Chris, which boxer was named BBC Sports Personality of the Year in 1985? Lennox Lewis, Barry McGuigan, or John Conte?
Well, it's a bit late for John Conte. And of the 2, I think it's a bit late for McGuigan as well. I'd say Lennox Lewis.
Interesting. You've swerved away from the correct answer. It's Barry McGuigan, Chris.
Mm-hmm. The Clonus Cyclone.
Over to you now, Rod. Which swimming stroke comprises the final leg of the Olympic medley relay? Backstroke, butterfly, or freestyle?
Well, I do know this because although I don't look it now, I used to be quite a good swimmer, and it's freestyle.
It is freestyle. Brilliant. Wow. Great answer. And you used to swim every kind of stroke or just particular ones?
I've competed at most levels with the different strokes, but backstroke was my best stroke. Yeah.
Your second question, Chris. Which fast bowler, nicknamed the Rawalpindi Express, was banned for 5 years from international and domestic matches by the Pakistan Cricket Board in 2008? Was it Waqar Younis, Shoaib Akhtar, or Muhammad Asif?
I don't think it's Waqar Younis. He's not been in trouble at all, as far as I can remember. I don't think it's Muhammad Asif either. I think it's Shoaib Akhtar.
It is Mr. Akhtar. You're quite right. Well done. So you have a point, but if you get this, Rod, you've taken the round and you're in the final round. So your third question, you mustn't let him back in. Darren Ferguson, the son of the Manchester United manager Alex, became the manager of which English football club in 2007? Was it Peterborough United, Plymouth Argyle or Portsmouth?
Well, I know it's not Plymouth Argyle because they pinched my team's manager some time ago. I don't think it's Portsmouth. No, it was definitely Peterborough United. He took them to promotion.
Well done. It's Peterborough United. You've got it. Great play. Good comeback on the, you know, there's something happening here. The energy's with you. Well done, Rog. You took on our Egghead. You emerged triumphant. Congratulations. Please, both of you, come back and join your teams. So, this is what we've been playing towards. It's time for the final round, which, as always, is general knowledge. But I'm afraid those of you who lost your head-to-heads won't be allowed to take part in this round. So, Andy and JP from the Midland Mirth Makers and CJ and Chris from the Eggheads, would you please leave the studio? So David, Rod and Bruce, you're playing to win the Midland Mirth Makers £4,000. Judith, Kevin and Daphne, you're playing for something which money can't buy, the Eggheads' reputation. As usual, I'll ask each team 3 questions in turn. This time the questions are all general knowledge. You are allowed to confer. Midland Mirth Makers, the question is, are your 3 brains better than the Eggheads' 3? You can choose whether you have the first or second set of questions.
What should we do? Go with the flow or just or should we mix it round?
Yeah, we'll go. No,
you sure?
Yeah, go first.
Should we go third? Yeah, we'll go first again. We'll go first.
Good luck to the Midland Mirth Makers. Your question, in Scandinavian mythology, what is the name of the hall in which the souls of those who have died in battle feast with Odin for eternity? Is it Midgard, Valhalla or Svaga?
I'm pretty sure I know it. Yeah, it is a Valhalla? Yeah, it's definitely. Yeah, definitely is Valhalla without a shadow of a doubt.
Sure? Hang on, you sure?
I'd put my house on it.
You only live in a caravan.
What about his house?
Yeah, it's definitely Valhalla.
Valhalla is your answer. It's correct. Well done.
Yeah.
Eggheads, what would you normally do in a refectory? Eat, fight or wash?
Eat. Well, you could have a fight or a watch, but normally you would eat. Yes, it's a dining room.
Dining room, yeah.
Yes.
You'd eat. Exactly. Well done. They do get slightly harder. What is the only film directed by Alfred Hitchcock that won the Academy Award for Best Picture? North by Northwest, Psycho or Rebecca?
Right, Rebecca was one of his early ones. It's a Daphne du Maurier film. I'm pretty sure that was...
I don't think it was Psycho, would it?
No, it wasn't Psycho. That was 60. I'm pretty sure it was North by Northwest. It's an amazing film.
Yeah, go with that.
Are we agreed on that?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, pretty sure about 95% is North by Northwest.
It's wrong.
Oh.
It's Rebecca.
Rebecca.
I didn't know.
Okay, your question, Eggheads, to take the lead. Maputo is the capital of which country? Swaziland, Mozambique or Morocco?
Mozambique. It was so funny because we were testing each other on capitals the other day, and it's Mozambique.
You're right, it's Mozambique. So they have the initiative, and you really need this question. If you don't get it, that's the end of the contest. Midland Mirth Makers. Which secret agent, nicknamed the Ace of Spies, obtained Persian oil concessions and German naval secrets for Britain prior to his death in 1925? Was it Sidney Riley, Oswald Rayner, or Anthony Blunt?
I seem to recall there's a book or a film, Riley, Ace of Spies. Do you remember that one? It was a TV thing. That rings a bell to me now.
Well, I haven't a clue.
Well, I know it's definitely not Blunt, so
It's not Blunt.
Go with the...
It's a gut instinct. I just think,
well,
O'Reilly, Ace of Spies. I'm sure there was a TV production.
Okay.
Should we go with that?
Go with it. Yeah.
Okay. We might regret this, but we got a feeling, if my gut instinct and I'm channeling, we'll go for Sidney Riley.
I'm really glad you went with your gut instinct because you're right.
Wow.
He was the Ace of Spies. Good play. Good, confident assertion of a fact you weren't quite sure of, but well done.
It came to me. It came.
Well done. Eggheads, your third question. If you get this right, you have knocked out our wonderful Midland Mirth Makers. and the contest is yours. Here it is. What is the name of the play written by Ken Campbell and Neil Oram that at 22 hours typical running time is considered to be the longest play in the world? Is it called The Warp, The Frames, or The Quantum?
No, I don't know. I have no idea. I was relying on you.
No, it's fine.
No.
It's, not, even I wouldn't go and see something in 22 hours. I just don't know.
No.
I'd guess at The Quantum, but I don't know.
No. Okay.
Absolutely. I haven't got a clue.
No. The question set has completely floored us because none of us have heard of it. So we are going to go 1 in 3, The Quantum.
The Quantum is your
Yes.
answer. It's a great answer for the other team because it's wrong. It's The Warp.
We knew that.
Okay, so North by Northwest is forgiven.
We can quote every passage, please.
3 questions each you've had. You move now to sudden death. Gets harder. Here's your question. And they're egging you on behind. Challengers, which word, now more often used to mean extremely angry, refers to skin that has a discoloured, bluish appearance caused by a bruise?
It's when the face gets red in the face. Is extremely angry, not.
I'm thinking like fuming, would that?
No, it's in fuming.
No.
Do you know it? But you can't think of it.
It's the name of the actual wound, the bruise.
Extremely angry.
Extremely angry. Think of some words.
Nothing. That's not poly, which is many things.
It's,
Is that the skin? When you're
I'm
red-faced.
just trying to go quiet and just thinking. It's the angry bit. It's the angry bit.
I can only think of fuming as a word.
Distressed.
I'll give you the question again and then we need an answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which word, now more often used to mean extremely angry, refers to skin that has a discoloured, bluish appearance caused by a bruise?
Well, skin is like dermis.
What's an answer?
Yeah. Okay.
Fuming. That's the only word I can think of. Unless you can think of a better one, it's
Well,
fuming.
it's a complete guess. We don't really know, so we're going to go with Bruce and hope he's going to be we hope we're not going to be fuming after this answer. We're going to go fuming.
I fear you are going to be fuming. The answer you've given is wrong. The correct word is livid.
Oh.
Livid.
Oh. We're not livid. We're not livid.
Don't worry. You're the only one to come up with answers, don't you?
Eggheads, in which building did Prince Charles and Lady Diana Spencer marry in 1981? If you get this, you've won the contest.
St Paul's Cathedral.
It's always frightening when you're certain, Daphne,
Yes.
because I see it immediately. You're right, it was St Paul's Cathedral. Sorry. Congratulations to you, Eggheads, you've won. And well done, challengers. Great quiz. Great team to have in. Thanks.
We loved it. Great.
Thanks for
Really
coming.
enjoyed it.
It's
Thank
been
you very
great.
much. Thank
The Eggheads have done what comes naturally to them, and they still reign supreme over Quizland. I'm afraid you won't be going home with the £4,000. I don't need to remind you of that. It does mean the money rolls over to our next show. Eggheads, congratulations. That look of certainty on Daphne's face, it's so terrifying. Who will beat you? Join us next time to see if the new challengers have the brains to defeat the Eggheads. £5,000 says they don't. Till then, goodbye.
A guitar seller hitting all the wrong notes and a chocolate shop in meltdown. They're all over the shop at 7 here on BBC Two. But coming up, the embarrassing family secrets of Austin, Rachel and Lisa. Their siblings tell all to Claudia for Strictly next.
The underwater quest continues.
This is definitely an ambitious expedition, there's no doubt about it.
It is looking pretty beautiful. Oh, wow! I've never seen anything like it. This was sci-fi.
An adventure that will take your breath away.
It's uncharted territory.